So it's another gardening week video, and it's going to be a fairly busy week today. I've got a lot of beds to clear, lots of things to sow, lots of compost to turn, and really focusing now on trying to get everything planted up that I possibly can for autumn, winter and spring. Because if I don't focus on that now in summer, then we won't have enough to eat during that period. So every bed needs to earn its keep. So just to warm myself up today, I turned a compost bin. Each one of my bins is about 1 tonne, and I like to generate about 3 tonne of compost each year, which is about what I need to keep the plot going. We take a lot of stuff out of this bed, out of this plot. We need to put a lot of goodness back into it. So I was pleased to get that done. That was a good warm up. Next job we've got to do is get the carrots sown. So this is the very last batch of carrots that I'm going to sow. These are the ones that will stay in the ground until April, until about mid-April probably. They will be fairly small. We've got lots of other beds for cooking carrots. These ideally will be sort of 1 centimetre sort of size, nice and long, thin and super sweet all the way through winter and spring. So I'm pleased to get those done. That bed was previously potatoes. We got a great crop of potatoes out of it. I've said in another video, which you might not have seen, that I think early main crop potatoes is one of the best things I can use my deep cold frames for. So they have a crop over autumn, and then they sometimes have another crop in late winter and early spring, and then in mid-spring through to now, the end of June, that's when we get this main crop potato harvest, and then something else goes back in this case carrots. So it's a great use. There's not many things you can get to harvest in that time period, from the middle of April through to the end of June. There's not many things that grow fast enough to get a harvest out of them, and you really need that speed if you're going to put something like carrots in, because now is about the end of the time really when you can productively sow carrots. Of course you can sow carrots all year round, but really you're not going to get much of a harvest from them after this point. So the other thing we're doing is we're taking out the spring flowering brassicas. So they have all flowered, and so there's nothing bar a few odd side shoots on those. I want to get those cleared, and then next week we'll get the early kale plants cleared, because we've got the main season kale plants all fully productive now, so we don't need early kale plants. But what we do need is that bed replanted to purple sprouting broccoli. So lots of new compost going into that bed, and yeah, I will be really pleased to get that purple sprouting broccoli in the ground. And then finally, I think today I'm going to get the early onions out of the ground. So of course our main crop onions are nowhere near ready yet. They won't be ready until sort of early August probably, certainly no later than early August, sometimes late July actually. They're just starting to bulb quite nicely now, but not big, this sort of size. But the early ones are looking really nice, and they're ready to come out. They're in the middle of the asparagus bed. The asparagus bed is now growing on, and it'll be well fiddled to get them out soon because the asparagus will have completely kind of covered them. And they're mature, they're ready, so I'll get those into the drying room. So it's Wednesday, and I've finished clearing all of the early brassicas now, and those beds are all prepared, ready for the purple sprouting broccoli. Taken the peas out, and they're ready for celery. And I've turned the last of my compost bins, so I've now got a third of a compost bin that I'm working from. I've got 2 compost bins ready now for autumn and winter, no, autumn and spring. And what else have I done? Oh yeah, I've emptied one of my water butts and sterilised it, and I'm kind of gradually going to work through my water butts over the next few months so that they're all sterilised and ready for winter. And now the asparagus is growing on, we've put some ropes around to support it, and then we've tied the asparagus to the ropes with little bits of string. And so that is pretty much it now for the asparagus. We're just going to leave that to grow until October, I cut mine down a little bit earlier than most people just because it's shading one of the beds that I need to get light in October, so it doesn't seem to cause it any problems. Finally, for Wednesday, I'm actually quite pleased to see that finally the ginger is starting to break surface. That has been a long wait. Saturday, and I'm starting to regain some of my gardening enthusiasm, so I spent the morning in the back garden and I'll show you what I got done. Making good progress with my seedlings. Planted the last of my outdoor tomatoes and moved some of the peppers outside that were in the kitchen, and so now we've only got one solitary plant. It looks quite nice there. Did the last carrot tubs, so now all the carrots we've got for the rest of the year are grown in the ground, so much nicer. And given the lawn its summer treatments, which basically means cutting all the seed heads off the grass and giving it a summer feed, and I'm actually watering in a wetting agent just so that we've had quite a lot of rain, so I want the wetting agent to kind of soak deep down into the root zone, and that means any further rain will actually also get drawn down into the root zone. So clearing beds as quick as I can to start replanting for winter now. Regular viewers will know that I took a chance and direct sowed all of my French and runner beans. That seems to have paid off. They're all coming up. And my new brassica bed is looking really nice. I'll now just get on with a quick harvest. So here's today's harvest. And hopefully this is the end now of the big harvests. We've got like holidays and family coming over and all that sort of thing, so we're only going to be doing smaller harvests just for the immediate family for the next 2 weeks, and then I think harvest volumes will reduce a bit because we are really now focused on growing for autumn, winter and spring, so lots of beds getting replanted and all that sort of thing. So I'll just quickly take you through it. So we've got chard here at the back. We've got 3 tubs of peas. I think we'll only have one harvest left of peas. That's the last of the broad beans. We've got cauliflowers here, calabrese here, more cauliflowers. Some of these beautiful beetroot, little courgettes. Actually, we ran out of onions, red onions, not last week, this week we ran out, so I picked some of the red onions. These aren't the main crops, these are kind of like our spare crop. The ones we'll be harvesting through July. And then we've got the French beans. We haven't got runner beans at the moment. Gooseberries, there's lots of bits and pieces of fruit on this table. We mainly harvest the fruit and process it on the day we pick it. Tomatoes, courgettes, turnips, new potatoes, more bits of fruit. These are the sprout tops and blown sprouts. I absolutely love these things. Absolutely love them. Gorgeous they are. So much better, I think, than sprouts, as I'm always saying. Salad carrots, cooking carrots. First decent pick, really, of the sweet peppers, and there's a few chili peppers there. Baking potatoes, loads and loads of different types of kale, 3 little red cabbages, 3 smoothie mixes, 2 big tubs of cucumbers. I've got quite a lot of cucumbers actually that I haven't picked. I just don't need them, so hopefully I'll get through them next week. And then we've got, I don't know how many, sort of 7 or 8 tubs of spinach. That's the last now of the Asian spinach. We've only got New Zealand spinach left. Golden purslane for the salads, cherries, blackcurrants, gooseberries and all of that. Debbie started doing preserves. That's the first one. That's a chili jam. She's done about 6 or 7 of those, I think. Loads and loads. It's stacked 3 high of salads there, and then we've got the salad onions, more salad onions under there, salad onion tops there. I think that is everything. So not a bad harvest. I'm going to do a separate video as well of the harvest, just to mark the July harvest. So with that, I think I'm done. So hope you like this quick video. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.